Thank you very much. Just turning 6:02. In the news, they're not naming names, but school officials in Gardner have placed a school bus driver on administrative leave after a little boy was left on the bus at the end of its run. Now, the 5-year-old boy didn't get off at his stop on Tuesday, instead ended up at the bus depot where they park him at the end of the day, and then he wandered away. He was spotted walking along Route 201 about 4:30 in the afternoon. The police were called and they got him home safely. Both the school district and the police are now investigating.
A dog sentenced to death may get another chance at life as a sled dog. Dakota the Husky was set to be put down after she attacked 2 other dogs, killing one of them. She was adopted to another family, and Governor LePage stepped in trying to pardon the dog. The Press-Herald is now reporting that a state prosecutor has reached a deal with the owner of the dogs that were attacked and Dakota's previous owner. Dakota may be sent to an animal rescue facility in New Hampshire that trains Huskies to be sled dogs. Dakota would not be allowed to return to Maine.
We now know the names of the husband and wife involved in a shooting in Reedfield. Sally Ann Earl Costello is facing charges this morning, accused of shooting her husband Hugh outside of their home on Wednesday. Now, Hugh Costello is being treated at the hospital for serious injuries. Police say there is a history of domestic violence at this home. They've been called there before, and officers have the gun they say they believe was used in the shooting.
An Army veteran from Brunswick has been murdered in Texas. Travis Granger was found behind a convenience store in Killeen, Texas on May 5th. He was shot and died at the hospital the next day. A man named Keith Marine is charged with his murder. Granger served in the 3rd U.S. Infantry Regiment.
The police in Portland have arrested a teenager who allegedly fired a gun and then pulled it out when an officer chased him down. This happened when somebody called 911 saying they heard a fight and a shot in the Munjoy Hill area at about 4 a.m. yesterday. The officer there tried to stop a car leaving the area, and the 17-year-old boy, who was a passenger in the car, ran away. A second officer joined in the search, caught up with the teenager on Cumberland Avenue. The boy allegedly then pulled out the gun, but was tackled by the officer. The teen is now in the Long Creek Youth Development Center facing weapons and drug charges. Nobody was hurt in the incident.
This man is under arrest, accused of running a prostitution operation out of a hotel in Auburn. Detectives say they found the operation on a website that's used to promote adult services and escorts. After interviewing a sex trafficking victim, police arrested Dean Pascal. He is charged with felony aggravated sex trafficking.
Now to an update on a story we were reporting late yesterday, a happy update. Police say they have found this woman with Alzheimer's. She hadn't been seen for a while. They haven't said how 79-year-old Maxine Baston was found, but just that she was found and she's safe and sound. And breaking overnight, Sweden has dropped rape charges against the founder of WikiLeaks, Julian Assange. She's been under investigation for rape for 7 years. He's been staying in London to avoid arrest in Sweden.
The 3rd of 4 statues in New Orleans is scheduled to be removed this morning, Confederate statues. This is a live shot from New Orleans. The removal of the Confederate statues has been causing a lot of controversy in the city.
The wrong-way driver who plowed into crowds in New York City's Times Square yesterday is in police custody. One person was killed, an 18-year-old girl. More than 20 were injured yesterday. Investigators say the driver, Richard Rojas, claimed he heard voices when it happened. He does have a history of driving under the influence.
And several people were hurt after they fell out of a Ferris wheel in Washington State. One of the riders was 6 years old. Police say the Ferris wheel was in operation when one of the bucket seats flipped over. The ride is shut down while authorities investigate.
And this confirmed now. A medical examiner says the lead singer for the band Soundgarden and Audioslave, Chris Cornell, died by suicide. He was found in the bathroom of his hotel room a few hours after a concert in Detroit. He was 52.
And we now know how the former CEO of Fox News, Roger Ailes, died. This comes not long after allegations of sexual harassment against him. A medical examiner says he died from complications related to a head injury he suffered after he fell earlier this month. He was 77 years old. And that brings us to almost 6:07.
Coming up, what it's like to be trapped in a hot car on a very hot day like yesterday. Chris Costa tried a little experiment to see for himself.